Over. So this is a Lightroom tutorial. We have our library develop, map, book, slideshow, and print options at the top here. We're going to be focusing on these two here, library and develop. Um, so we're in the library section now. The first thing we need to do is we need to import our photographs. So we just took a series of those. So click on the import button, and it's going to pull them from our no name. So here we have some awesome ones. You can do the initial one, go through and be like, obviously I don't want any of these ones from previous projects. So I'm just gonna uncheck all at the top here. And then I'm gonna go through and I want the images for the water drop. So we want that one. So I'm just gonna see how it turned white. I'm gonna go to the bottom. I'm gonna hold down Shift and click here. So now all the images that I want are selected. And then I'm just gonna click this little, so now the check mark will let me import those. So I'm just going to import the images for this project, okay? This is a great workflow program. So for example, Taylor Swift concert, shot almost 1,000 photographs for 2 songs, right? So it's a lot of images to go through. In this program, it allows me to quickly go through them and pull out the better ones. Like, oh, I want to just edit these photographs. Okay, so the purpose of this project is we want to incorporate a sharp image that has the globe in it. So we're gonna we have some towards the bottom here, which will work well. So they've all been imported.
Are we allowed to move this stuff out of the back?
Oh yeah, like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So once you've chosen an image, you go to the develop module. So let's just do this one really fast. All right, so let's zoom in, get a nice good look at it. So what I'm looking for here, see how you can see the globe? It's pretty sharp. It's not fully what I'm looking for, but close enough for the demonstration. Okay, so the first thing I'm looking for is it sharp, which is really nice to find edges here. I can see the globe in there. It looks pretty good. I would have preferred if it was like separated a little bit, like on its way up, but due to time, I cut it short. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna apply rule of thirds. So let's zoom back out. I'm using the space bar to zoom in and out. I'm gonna go, you have some tools here. One of them is a crop tool. We also have spot removal, great for blemishes and such. We have red eye reduction. We have a gradient tool. And what is this one? I never use this one. The radial filter, never use that one. And this brush tool, we use this one. We're going to be using this a lot in your senior portrait project, which is your final. So for the crop tool, we want to crop this to rule of thirds. So I'm going to hold down the Shift key on the computer. And that'll keep my aspect ratio the same. And I'm going to place that water drop right there using rule of thirds. So a couple, let's see. Bring that a little more. I want to put that right there in that crosshairs. Okay, the next step is you're going to add some sort of a filter and have all these presets over here. These are just the basic ones that come with the program. You can actually buy other ones or actually have free ones as well. And you can also create your own user presets for filters. So on the side here, you notice as I'm moving it around in this corner up here, it gives you a little preview of what the filter will look like. So let's see. We got blue filter, blue bypass, kind of like the cold tone. Let's go with cold tone. Okay, so it gives everything a nice bluish color to it. It's in our rule of thirds. This next section is, let's talk about this. You have your sliders, and these sliders are really cool. You can go in here and you can adjust your exposure, your contrast, highs, shadows, whites, blacks. You can also add saturation or decrease saturation. Here's the really cool part though, is this section here. These are individual color sliders. You can enhance, so this color's got a lot of blue in it, so if I want to make the blues really pop, I can grab the blue slider and really just enhance just the blues. I can also go through and remove every other color except for blue. So I can do selective coloring just by using the sliders.
That is so awesome.
Right? Okay, so here we have this. Once you get to this point though, we are going to then export it into Photoshop. This is important. Ryan, what's the keyboard shortcut?
U.
What's the keyboard shortcut?
C.
Shortcut.
Cut. E.
Because
Export.
what was the how did I teach you to remember it?
Oh yeah.
What do you call that thing like you yell into canyon?
Echo.
Echo, right? Command E as an echo, right? So that's how I want you to remember it. Echo. So Command E will open up the image into Lightroom. I'm sorry, into Photoshop from Lightroom. Boom, there it is. We're now in Photoshop. When you're in Photoshop, I want you to use your PNG signature watermark to sign your image. I'm going to be printing these images and we'll be displaying them at the Evening of the Arts next Tuesday. Okay, so you have the rest of today and until the end of class on Tuesday to finish this project. So I'll print them and go pick them up and we'll, I'm sorry, on Monday, end of class on Monday. So I can print them so we can hang them up on Tuesday. Okay, so to add your signature watermark, so like this right here, say I don't know what that is. I want to get rid of that. I can use my spot healing brush here as well. I'm going to always work on a duplicate copy, Command J. I'm going to make my brush a little bigger. And I'm just going to get rid of whatever this is here. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my brush. What I want you to do is I want you to select a color from your image. So obviously I got a lot of blue in this image. So I'm going to use the color picker tool for my foreground colors here. I'm going to grab a nice dark blue. Click OK. Now my foreground color is that nice blue. Now when I grab my brush, which I'm already on, I need to find my signature one. There it is. I can use my bracket keys to make it bigger or smaller. I'm going to sign it. It's kind of hard to see, right? Mm-hmm. So how can I make that pop? Yeah, I'm just going to throw a drop shadow on there. So double click right there. I'm going to look at my drop shadow options. I think I have a white one already set up. Yep, you can see it right there. So it separates it from the background a little bit. Click OK. Boom. You're going to save this as, so this is kind of cool. If you save it as a TIFF file, so it's going to automatically be a TIFF file. So you just click Save As, don't touch anything, click Save. It will actually re-import the image into Lightroom. So if I want to go do more tweaking with these brushes, let me show you these brushes. These brushes are really cool. And you can buy other brushes like I have on my personal computer. I have a makeup package for brushes. I can add eyeliner and lipstick and blush and all that sort of stuff. These ones are pretty basic though. We have temperature tint, contrast, highlights, dehaze, saturation, defringe, color. Dodge and burn, I use these two a lot, so darken and lighten. Skin softening, teeth whitening.
That's always nice.
Yep.
I love it with my teeth.
Iris enhance. So let's just say I want to go in and I want to add a little more contrast to my image. So I want to add some contrast up here. And what I really like about this is I can click this little bottom part, show selected mask overlay, and it shows me where I'm painting. So I'm going to go through and I just want to get kind of the glow part here and add some more contrast to it. Using the bracket keys like always, I can make my brush bigger or smaller. But that way I know I don't miss anything, right? That's because the light fall off where the light's hitting the globe. Oh. So then I can again use my sliders and I can really make it less contrast or not. So I really want to contrast it out though. And then that's good. And then let's see. I think the last thing I can even add more contrast by using the slider. I don't really like that. Let's see, let's add some highlights. Good. Increase the blacks maybe? No. Is that a vignette? Anyone know what a vignette is? The vignette's kind of like that circle shading that goes around an image, right? So if we go down here, that's one of our presets. The nice thing about these presets is you can stack them. So I'm gonna add just kind of a nice dark vignette 2, which is darker. Vignette 1's a little lighter. See the difference? I could do rounded white corners, rounded black. But let's just go with a nice dark vignette around it. All right, to get your image out of Lightroom, you're going to right click and click on export and then export again. It's gonna bring up your export dialog box. This gives you all kinds of options. We're gonna go through this more in detail next week probably. But you can give it custom names. So we're gonna put it into our water drop folder and we'll leave the name the same at the moment. You can add watermarks, which is great. So then you can say you wanna export out 1,000 photographs, you can add your watermark to all those photographs through this automated process. So it makes it really easy. All right, so for the quality size, we're just gonna do 100 and click export. Now we go into our folder. So on the desktop now, we now have a folder called Water Drop. And in that folder is our image. Pretty cool.
That's really cool.
All right, so that's what we're doing. Any questions? Nope. All right, I'm gonna stop the video.